Hey everyone, today we're diving into something that, let's be honest, most organizations see as a total chore, professional credentialing. But what if we could flip that idea on its head? What if that whole administrative headache could actually be a secret weapon for your organization? Let's dig in and figure out what's really at stake here.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Go beyond the obvious stuff like staff salaries and stacks of paper. What are the real, hidden costs of a slow, clunky credentialing workflow? As we're about to see, the true impact is probably way bigger than you think.
Okay, first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. At its core, credentialing is just the process of checking someone's background. It's all about making sure people are who they say they are, and, more importantly, that they have the right licenses, the right degrees, and the right experience to do their job safely and do it well. So, here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by unpacking the real cost of waiting around. Then, I'll give you a playbook to start optimizing things. After that, we'll get into some pretty cool next-level strategies, see how AI is changing everything, and finally, we'll take a little peek into the future of verification.
All right, let's kick things off with the big problem here. The fallout from a slow credentialing process isn't just about a few annoying delays. No, it sends real, measurable ripples through your entire organization.
You know, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? For so many people, credentialing is this soul-crushing paperwork nightmare. You've got piles of forms, endless phone calls, spreadsheets that go on forever, but that view totally misses the point. It misses the direct line between that slow paperwork and actual lost money.
And those costs, they're so much more than just wasted time. When your process is slow, you are literally delaying revenue. You're bogging down your staff with low-value grunt work. You're opening yourself up to huge compliance risks. And think about the people you're trying to hire. It's incredibly frustrating for them, and it makes you look bad when you're trying to attract the best talent.
Okay, let's put a real number on this, because this is where it gets crazy. In healthcare, for example, for every single provider who's stuck waiting on their credentials, an organization can lose up to $15,000 a month. That adds up so fast.
Okay, so we've seen how bad the problem is. Enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about how to fix it. And this is key. This isn't just about buying some new software. It's about totally rethinking how you do things from the ground up.
Real, meaningful change comes down to these 4 pillars. First, you've got to map out what you're doing right now to see where all the traffic jams are. Then, you standardize everything, create templates so it's consistent. Then you bring in a tech to automate the repetitive stuff. And finally, you use all that new data you're collecting to keep making things better. And wow, look at the difference here. This really shows you the before and after. You're going from this messy world of paper forms and manual phone calls to something so much smarter. We're talking online portals, verification that happens automatically, and workflows with built-in rules. It's a total game changer. So, once you've got those basics down, you can really start to level up. Let's look at some of the more advanced tactics that can give you a serious competitive edge. These are some of the heavy hitters. Things like parallel processing, where you do a bunch of checks at the same time instead of one after another. Or continuous verification, where you're always monitoring credentials, not just once every 2 years. There's also delegated credentialing, basically trusting that another good organization already did the hard work, and provider passporting, which is like a digital passport for a professional's qualifications. Any one of these can shave off huge amounts of time. Yeah, and this visual makes it super clear. The old way is like a single file line. You can't move to step 2 until step 1 is totally finished. But with parallel processing, you blow that up. You run all those independent checks at the exact same time. It's probably one of the fastest ways to shrink that timeline.
Okay, now for the really exciting part. Let's talk about the technology that's not just speeding things up, but completely changing the game: artificial intelligence. So what's the most painful, time-consuming part of this whole process? It's always been verifying everything at the source. Well, AI flips that on its head. Instead of a person picking up a phone or sending an email, an AI can plug directly into a university's database or a licensing board system and get that verification back instantly.
And then there's the mountain of paperwork, right? AI can actually read all those documents, resumes, certificates, you name it. It uses tech to pull out all the important data, stick it right into your system, and get this, it can even spot inconsistencies between documents that a human might totally miss.
This right here is a massive shift in thinking. Credentialing stops being this thing you do just once when someone gets hired. With AI, you get continuous monitoring. The system can keep an eye on thousands of people at once and shoot you an alert the second a license is about to expire or if some disciplinary action pops up. You go from being reactive to being totally proactive. So what does all this add up to? I mean, this chart really says it all. Your typical old school process, you're looking at anywhere from 90 to 180 days. That's 3 to 6 months. With AI helping out, you're crushing that down to just days or maybe a few weeks. The impact on your bottom line is it's huge.
And believe it or not, the innovation doesn't stop with AI. So to wrap things up, let's take a quick look over the horizon at what's coming next for professional validation. One of the big ones you'll be hearing more about is blockchain. Just imagine, what if a professional could have a single, secure digital record of all their verified credentials, something that's impossible to tamper with and that they control? They could instantly share it with a new employer who wouldn't have to start the entire verification process from scratch. That's the promise.
And it's not just blockchain. There are a few other big trends to watch. We're going to see systems that can actually talk to each other, which would be amazing. There's also a big move towards verifying specific skills, not just a college degree. Credentials will become more portable across the globe, and we'll start to see a lot more transparency for patients or customers. And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started. When you put all this together, the smartest strategies, the new tech, you can finally make this happen. Credentialing stops being a roadblock and starts being an engine for growth. So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. When you look at your own organization, what do you see? Is your credentialing process still that painful bottleneck we talked about? Or are you ready to turn it into the powerful, strategic advantage it's meant to be? Thanks for watching.